Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Tony's Picks Morning Show. I'm Tony T, ready to deliver these free picks here free from college football and the last Saturday of the Major League Baseball regular season. And, of course, to get these picks out to you for our first start college football here. Got Rod and Horry. Let's say hello to Rod. Rod, what's going on?
Yeah, not too much, Tony. Nice win by Rutgers there over Washington last night. Can't complain about that. And the Hurricanes, well, they needed a little bit of hanging on. And it's one of those games that, most teams that they figure there's no bumps in the road on the way to the national championship. Well, there's definitely bumps in the road. And that was, we'll give that to Miami. It was their first bump. Down by 10 plus, they came roaring back, and they did get the win, but didn't get the cover. But, man, this Ward looked pretty good. I think he's Heisman bound. He's got to be the leader on the Heisman race at this point, the way he's been chucking the ball. Looking real good. Some NFL teams chomping the bit going, hey, hopefully he can fit into our system. Because the Dolphins need a quarterback. I think we should start to tank.
Man, we'll see how that rolls. We'll talk to Horry. Horry, we've seen this many times where these double-digit favorites in these midweek games fail to cover.
Yeah, and then you throw in the wrinkle that the starting quarterbacks are cousins that work out all summer. That's just bound. You know what I mean? That's just bound. I didn't even know that one. So that's bound to be a fact there. Oh, you were okay with your win last night? Are you kidding me? I was on the under, and that was like that's called winning a total when you're 100% on the wrong side. Washington got into the red zone 5 times.
Yep.
Stopped at the 2, missed field goal. And really, guys, I don't think we'll ever see a bad beat like that again. There's all bad beats are bad beats. But you block a field goal with 26 seconds at the end of the first half, and you get an illegal substitution call on an effing field goal. I don't even know what that is. For $1,000, I couldn't have picked that out on the play. They give them a first down, and they throw a touchdown pass on the next play. Dude, that is crazy. I was like, I thought it was like an error screen or something on that. I was like, oh, my under's looking great. And all of a sudden, I was like, oh, shit. Now all of a sudden, it doesn't look so great.
Yeah.
Off a crazy play like that. So, hey, man, I'll say it all the time. We need a lot of luck. We can only be in a game. We can only be in a game until the end of the game. And then, even at the end of a first half, look at BYU,
right.
Which is going to have me leaning on Baylor. I mean, BYU is good, but they're not that they haven't improved that much. They got 28 points over 56 yards. Let's see the next time that's going to happen.
They were last. When you look at the preseason odds to win the Big 12, they were last. They were like 20-1. So,
but they're good. I mean, they're definitely going to a bowl game. Great.
That kind of skews the mind, though. I mean, I was going to take, but that skews the mind a little bit. Like this is the places bettors out there, sharp bettors bet in those pools. It kind of screwed me up. I should have had K-State, but I thought I have a BYU. They're expecting to be such last place in the Big 12.
All these altitude teams have winning records against the spread. All of them up there in basketball. Every single one. Weber State, Utah State, every single one of them. Utah Jazz. And then, there's a reason for that. It's just when you have teams come in that aren't used to it. But, hey, let's not take nothing away from that BYU defense. I may not be on them all over them today. I actually am on the defense today. I'm not on the offense. I think that game goes under. Once they face some competitions. But, man, that's the college football, and I should have been on that Virginia Tech. I'm just too much of a homer. That's the only time the homer bite's going to get me all year. Once I let it happen to me, I don't ever let it happen again. I even said it, hey, this is a real rivalry, and I didn't even know. If I didn't know about the cousins, I'd have been all over it. Again,
I didn't know that either.
It's a situational thing that's an intangible that, you just can't beat that. Who are the ones that work out together? I think 4 of them. Work out together. God, who are the other 2? It'll come to me in a minute, but there's a whole slew of them that work out together for this group that's going to be coming out in the draft.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see here. Of course, as we said, the Dodgers put up a lot of runs. And kind of, like I said, let that down spot. But when you go to Colorado, you're just excited to pad stat, and that's what we saw. Dodgers put up a ton of run on that Rockies bullpen. Dodgers magic number 1 to clinch best record. They lose the tiebreaker to Philly. Philly as we thought. I think it mailed it in yesterday against Washington. Not interested. They could win in Dodger Stadium. Trust me, they did it already. So there's no reason for
They probably never left the clubhouse. They're probably still drinking there when they had to get shower up and get ready for the game.
That's right. We saw Philly pound the Dodgers this year in their head-to-heads. So let's go ahead and let's get underway. You guys know the format here. We'll see now food coming in. Shout out to Blake. Shout out to Razor Sharp Pick. See, we finally figured out how to get these comments out here. Some of the folks that we see on the weekends.
I have to learn to jump into the comments. I'm working on that right now. I can't get in for some reason, but I'm going to get in today.
There we go. Release the Kraken. All right. Hey, we got already the hockey folks coming in. ready for the hockey to show up. So we're not too far away.
They won last night. That's why. So they won 3-1 over the Canucks last night.
Okay.
3-1 over the Canucks last night. So.
Over the Canucks was the win there in the preseason games. All right. Yes, some folks feel like got lucky there. I felt that way too with the Rutgers. That's Rutgers football, man. They will lose the stat sheet, but win the game.
But win the game, right? So many times.
That's surprising.
They suck.
They do, but that's what they do.
They march into the red zone. Oh, they're not going to beat. They're not going to beat the top 3 teams in the Big Ten.
No, they never do.
Most.
But in September,
they do win those kind of games. No, there's no doubt about that.
Yeah,
that definitely wasn't. That wasn't one of them.
They're the poster child of the ugly win. They are.
Yeah. The ugly loss is Washington.
Yeah.
16 penalties for 140 yards in the Apple Cup.
Yeah.
You get rid of that stupid block kick, they're one of the best undefeated teams in the country.
Right?
They
lost. I don't know. They lost a lot. They lost a lot, man. They lost a coach. They lost the receivers. They lost their secondary. They lost their quarterback.
No, but their defense is legit under Steve Belichick. But I'm just saying, you take away their penalties, their dumb mistakes. This isn't plays that happen against other teams, and they're up there. All of a sudden it's the top 4 in the Big Ten this year, right? That all of a sudden it's in the race, and we're not talking about Oregon. It'd be Washington and not Oregon. Hey, they're still. Hey, you know what? Fine, let them lose these 2 games. Let them lose that on national TV. They're just going to go underneath the radar. And I tell you what, they got an upset coming for one of the big 3. I'll throw that out there. Well, they're going to be going over a touchdown with Penn State, Ohio State, and Michigan. And I think it's Penn State's year, man. Offensive coordinator from Kansas, leaving Kansas. They can't get a win. We saw UNLV was a great barometer. He was there in their last game. Then he came back in that one, and they couldn't get any offense going.
The next quarterback, that former running quarterback, now offensive coordinator, was really good. All right, let's get to the picks, guys. As usual, we're going to start with the Nooners. We got the high Nooners here, and we got a lot of them to cover here. Northern Illinois, maybe there'll be a Mountain West team at NC State, Maryland, Indiana, Buffalo, UConn, Western Kentucky, Boston, BC, Boston College, Nebraska, Purdue, Kentucky here going to take on Ole Miss, Okie State, Kansas State, South Florida, Tulane, Navy, UAB, BYU, Baylor, another good one. Minnesota, Michigan could be a bloodbath there. We'll see what the cappers think. We'll start with Rod.
Yeah, and for me, in this high Nooners, there's a couple I like here in this high noon spot. I like the under between Kentucky and Ole Miss. You look at that Ole Miss defense, and it's been shut down, lights out defense, and you know what? That Kentucky D can do the same. I think it's going to be a slobber knocker of a game there. Both teams trying to run the ball, and I think we sneak under the 52 there. I know Ole Miss has been racking it up, but against some softer opponents. So don't let those stat numbers that they have been. That offense has been rolling. Stat numbers are pretty high, but against some softer opponents. So coming here against Kentucky, this is always a battle between Kentucky and Ole Miss. So I like the under 52 in that one. And then you look at the Gophers. Max Brosman is the QB for the Gophers, and he's hitting 65% of his passes. He averages about 200 yards a game throwing the ball. And you know what? This Michigan secondary, I think he'll be able to throw the ball. Running the ball, good luck. You're not going to run against that Michigan defense. But you could throw it against the secondary. If you can find some open guys down the field, you'll definitely be able to put up some points. We know this Michigan team can run it right down the throat of the Gophers and be able to score some points themselves. And a 34.5, I'm not taking it under there. Give me the over in the Gophers in Michigan. You look at the last 8 meetings head-to-head between these two teams, all went over the total. So give me the over in that one. And another one here, we're going to go with the upset. I'm going to take an outright. You know how I've taken one all week, and I always find that one. I like Northern Illinois here against North Carolina State. You look North Carolina State 0-4 against the number. They haven't looked very good. And now you expect them to lay 8 points and try to cover that? No, thank you. Give me Northern Illinois. You can take the 8 if you want. I think it's closer, but I'm going to take the money line at 2.5 times our money. Give me Northern Illinois money line. I think they come into North Carolina State and outright them in that game. And then the one that Jorge was talking about, BYU and Baylor. This game, I went back and forth. I've seen Baylor both. You look BYU 4-0 ATS to start the year. Baylor 3-1 ATS to start the year. This is going to be a close game. I would take the 3 points with Baylor with BYU. I wanted to get on Baylor, but my gut doesn't tell me to take Baylor today. My gut tells me to take BYU, so I'm going to take BYU plus the points.
Plus the points. All right, we move on over to Jorge.
I'll tell you, Rod, I can understand the opinion there in the BYU game, but I've watched them pretty closely, and I love the BYU Jew quarterback over there. Talking about you could throw on Michigan. We're talking about Minnesota, man. Are you kidding me? Is that because it's close to Canada or something? Minnesota is horrible. They can't throw a ball against anybody. I mean, USC had a little bit of a challenge against Michigan. I'll disagree wholeheartedly. I think it may not be the championship defense they had last year. That's still a legit defense, man. And you got to have a good quarterback to throw on those guys, and you'll have to have a running game because if Michigan pins their ears back, they don't have to worry about their secondary. Those guys will jump in there. So, little disagreement on that part there. Do I think Minnesota can do anything? No. They can play some defense. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you had at least a USC quarterback, yeah, of course that guy could, do more than they did last year. But Michigan's still legit, man. And if that quarterback can learn to complete some third down passes, don't count them out because they just got to be able to run the ball, play some defense. In that particular game, yeah, the BYU game again. I can't go to either side of it. It'd have to be Baylor. Look, the reality is, you look at BYU and the teams they've played so far this year. They haven't stopped the run against anybody that has a real offensive line, that has a Power 4 offensive line, and they sure as hell didn't stop Iowa State last week. You come in Baylor's only going to try to do one thing, and that's run the ball, and it'll pretty much be a stalemate. BYU's good, man. Look, like Tony said, they were supposed to be at the bottom of the barrel. I think reality just comes crushing down. 4-0 is 4-0, man. That's pressure, right? The team that was happy to be there. Now they're going on the Big 12, the first win. So slight lean to Baylor in that one.
There is slight lean there from Jorge. I'll look here in this one with BC and Western Kentucky. I'll take the points of Western Kentucky. Thomas Castellanos, undisclosed, shown as doubtful in my line service.
Right.
That's a big miss there for BC if he's out of there. They're getting WKU getting really good performance out of the quarterback position, and they've covered 5 of their past 6, 11-17 on the road. BC 1-6 of the spread as a home favorite, so I'll look at that spot there. I'm going to go under here with Nebraska and Purdue. Purdue's just getting a really bad quarterback play this year. Card hitting just 44% of his passes, no downfield threat whatsoever. I think Nebraska ground and pounds their way to a win for that bounce back in that spot. Looking under again in Oklahoma State and Kansas State. We know this K-State defense is pretty good, and I think they're going to keep it on the ground. Again, keep the ground and pound. Don't let OK State get that offense going. That's how I look at that one. Let's see. I've got I'm there with Baylor as well. Really a big first road test here for the Cougars. The Bears defense has been really good this year. 3.3 yards a carry. They're allowing 53% completion rate. Miranda's on the hot seat, man. It's not been going good here the last couple of years here for this Baylor, the team. All right, let's continue here on the Tony's Picks morning show as we get ready for the next series of games. So in this slot of games, we're going to start at let's see what we got here. We're going to go from 1:30 all the way and get all the 3:30 games. So this will be in this slate of games. It will be. Let me move my scroll over here.
Massive.
Massive. Massive. It's a big card. 50 games today for today.
Yeah.
All right, we got Ball State, James Madison, Texas State, Sam Houston, Eastern Mich and Kent, Georgia Southern, Georgia State, San Diego State, Central Michigan, Louisiana and Wake Forest, Akron, Ohio, UMass and Miami O. Remember, UMass now a MAC team. Colorado, Central Florida. That's one of the highlight games of the afternoon. Western Michigan, Marshall, TCU, Kansas, Oklahoma, Auburn, a big one. Fresno State and Jorge, UNLV with a lot of the drama game. Arkansas, Texas A&M, and Jerry's World, Louisville, Notre Dame, Whiskey and USC. So we got some pretty good matchups here in this time slot we saw with Rod.
Yeah, and in this time slot, there's a couple here that I like. You're looking at Maryland taking on Indiana. I like the under 50 in that one. Weather's going to be a factor in that game. It's supposed to be rainy and miserable in Indiana today. Raining all day. So you look at Maryland, they love to throw the ball. So how much throwing the ball you can be able to do in a rainy, windy, miserable environment? Not a whole lot. So they're going to have to learn how to run the ball. So I like the under 50 in that one. Going to be tough sled in a windy, miserable, rainy game there. Give me the under 50, Maryland and Indiana. And then I like Sam Houston here getting the 10 versus Texas State. Texas State 1-2 in the year, and I've seen Texas State, and they've been looked good at times, and then they've looked awful at times. Their defense isn't so good. I think Sam Houston has the better defense in that one, and you're going to get 10. I think it's a lot closer game than that. So give me the Sam Houston plus the 10 in that one. And then you got to keep going right with Buffalo. Buffalo just keeps getting disrespected. You get 6. They're taking on UConn this week. I'll take the 6 in that one there. I think Buffalo could keep it close if they don't have a good shot to outright UConn in that one. And then scrolling down, big one here. You look at Oklahoma taking on Auburn. Tough place to come play in Jordan-Hare Stadium there for Auburn. Very tough place to play. And the line looks a little bit almost like they're trying to bait you into taking Auburn in that one. And for me, I'm not doing it. I'm going to take Oklahoma. Tough going against Tennessee, but I like that Oklahoma defense. They definitely stepped up, held Tennessee to 25 points. What are they going to do to Auburn? Smother Auburn. Give me Oklahoma money line in that one. I think they outright Auburn in that one. That Oklahoma defense is for real, and it'll step up today and show you. It's tough going against Tennessee, but only giving up 25 points against that offense. I had it to Oklahoma in that one. They were really up against it there. One more in this time slot. You look. I like Central Mich here against San Diego State. Central Mich be able to run the ball and pound it down San Diego State's throat. Like 0-3 against the number, and now you're on the road going into Central Michigan. Going to be a tough task there. Give me Central Michigan. They love to run the ball. That offensive line is big and tough, and going to be tough on the Aztecs there in that one. And I'll leave the UNLV game to Jorge. He can go on.
That's his. I ain't backing down from it. Come on now.
It's like I said before this week. You look at UNLV and everybody's going to jump the other way. They're going to jump all over Fresno because you're getting 2 points. They're the dog, and they think just because UNLV lost their QB, all heck is going to break loose, and they're going to stumble and fall, and it's going to be awful. I don't think so. UNLV is still that good, even if you throw in another QB. Hey, that backup guy might be even better for them than the original.
That's exactly
QB.
what happened. That's exactly what happened last year. I mean, Brumfield was the starting quarterback. He couldn't pick up the new offense. He was a great athlete, running the ball around, just couldn't throw. Ricky White had no catches and no yards last year, even though he ended up an All-American. It all happened after the third, when Moaba came in, third game of the season. Hey, look, Williams was the starting quarterback in the spring. This is how they suckered Sluka into not signing his NIL agreement. And I believe the university did that. I don't care. I call it the way it is. They've been doing this crap to kids for years. This whole drama is going to help UNLV. It's not going to do anything, except I've seen some positives come out of it. Derek Stevens jumped up and said, "Hey guys, here, I'll pay the $100,000." No, it's already been an issue. The kid's already gone, but it's pointing to the boosters. It says, you guys need to really start acting like boosters, like where I came from in Michigan, because otherwise you'll never have a football team. And it was a great statement that he just jumped out and said that. It says, dude, we're that percentage of people that have the money to pay for this kind of stuff, so the school's successful and the community feels good about it. That's what they're supposed to do.
We've been saying that for years, Jorge. Back in the
you know that. Yeah, we have the worst.
25 years we've been talking about that.
Oh yeah, you kidding me? We are the worst fan base in the country. There's like 6 of us going to a game today. I don't think all of them combined have gone to 6 games in the last 25 years, Tony. So they're just all going. I mean, and they could easily get tickets from boosters too because they didn't care. But hey, no, back to the story. Odom's a great coach. Williams came in at the same time as Sluka, so kind of, did the OC kind of say that out of the side of his neck? Go, Mr. Go-Go? I think so, Marion. But when it came down to it, it wasn't handled correctly, and I do believe the agent came, a knucklehead on the other side, and threatened to pay for play, which is really going to set a big stake. It's actually on. I already got a text this morning. They're talking about it on Game Central. It's going to help UNLV. UNLV is going to be able to throw the ball. They're not going to be one-dimensional, but it's also going to change the landscape for football. I really hope UNLV sues Sluka's agent over threatening, hey, I'm not going to come play. I'll redshirt if you don't pay me, because I think that'll actually set the field and make NIL a little bit better for college football. It's okay in basketball, but football's gotten ugly, guys. And with the bowl games and guys leaving, you need to stay with your team. If you're a coach or player and you got NIL, you need to stay the whole damn year. I don't care where you're going or where you're at. You can't opt out because there's a bowl game. You're a paid professional now. You're not an amateur. Maybe wanting to get, change. You want to become a veterinarian instead of an attorney. Sorry, that was about 10, 15, 20 years ago. Now you get paid. You need to stay, win or lose, until you're done, and then everybody can jump around. Until they make those changes, I think it'll be a mess, guys. But anyway, jumping off that soapbox, I'll jump back over to the picks. But hopefully it'll help clean up the NIL, which I really think it will. If it's not immediately, it will in the long term. One of the ugliest teams to watch that is destroying the spread, Eastern Michigan.
Yep.
Minus 14. Oh God, they're just winning. I loved them last year. I was on them at the end of the game last. There was no stat in the world that told you to bet Eastern Michigan last year as they were trying to make it in. Dude, they're destroying it. This year so far as what they've done on the odds. So I have no problem laying the points there against them. Kent State's just horrible, man. Horrible. And I think Eastern Michigan's going to just continue to play the way they are.
Look at that. Look at that to play. Poor Flashers. Flashers again. Look at that. Look who they had to play. They had to play Tennessee. They had to play Penn State. And did they get a whiff? No, not even close. But look at who they play. That's tough schedule. Pitt, Penn State, Tennessee. The last 2 games, Penn State and Tennessee.
Yeah. So who's that team they beat? Was it George? Which was the team that they lost to? Or beat? What are they called?
They haven't beat anybody.
Okay, or the one that they lost to at the end. I can't think.
They had the least returning starters, if I recall.
That same team, Eastern Michigan's already played them and blew them out. The same FBS.
St. Francis of Pennsylvania
blew them out. Yeah. So there's just no question there. I mean, they even have a common opponent. So I mean, as bad as it sounds, that's a big win. Definitely jumping on now. And James, Matt, I don't want to lay 21 with anybody, but a lean. James Madison looks legit. All these guys are going to try to run up the score now. The G5s. UNLV being one of them, so that'll be an interesting game. The G5 teams are going to. So they're just going to put the pedal on everything. Especially when they have an opponent that they can do it to. So, hey, they came out throwing the ball like crazy. I think North Carolina's defense is that bad. Not totally sold on it, but I would lean at least to James Madison. I mean, looks like they got it still going regardless of who the coach is, who the quarterback is, and who the whole defense is. They're still undefeated.
There you go. All right, so that's Jorge's games here at the slot. I'll tell you what I think. I'm there with Jorge as well. I like James Madison to pound this Ball State team who's really playing poorly on defense. I mean, opposing quarterbacks completing 70% of their passes on Ball State, 10.3 yards per pass attempt. Poor offense here for Ball State. We saw what this James Madison offense did against North Carolina. I like them in this spot. I will look here as well. Eastern Michigan going to lay it here against this rebuilding Kent team. EMU does defend the run well, get an efficient quarterback play. And it is a tough schedule for Kent. But, again, this is a team that didn't return hardly any starters this year. Just to let you know, Liberty App State was actually canceled, will not be made up but Liberty's trying to look for opponent there. Let's see. I'm with Rod here. I'll look at Central Michigan. Boy, that Aztecs offense just looks miserable this year, man. Or worse, and worse is the defense got worse. That's the bad thing about it. Defense got worse. And that's the scary part of this one. I'm going to go under in Wake Forest and Louisiana. Louisiana holding team playing really good pass defense, and Wake Forest is struggling on the ground. I'll look in that spot. Also, I'm going to look under in that UCF and Colorado game. I just don't, not a believer in Colorado here. That offense working on the road in this spot against UCF. And actually, Colorado's defense showing some improvement this year. That's something that's under the radar there, is how they've improved there defensively. I'm going to look here at Kansas laying the 2. I'm just not a fan of this TCU defense, man. And their head coach, who I followed in college at Cal. This really can't coach defense, and we're starting to see the defense crumple here at TCU, which I expected to happen. I'm there with UNLV here. I think that what I'm hearing locally, just some of the local comments I've heard around the Vegas radio row, is the fact that the players are rallying around this quarterback. So I'm going to look here at the UNLV side there. The game at Jerry rolled out late here with Texas A&M against Arkansas. They run the football effectively, 6 yards of carry on the ground, and they're playing good defense. So I'll look at that spot there. Let's see, anything else there I like in that spot. That's going to do it for me there in that 3:30 spot. All right, let's continue here on the 26 Morning Show as we get ready for the next series of games. And in this one, we're going to attack the games at 1 Eastern here, 4 Eastern, all the way to 7 Eastern. So the games here in this time slot will be, let me get my mouse ready. UTSA, East Carolina, North Carolina, Duke. It's not basketball, college basketball, but it's college football. Mississippi State, Texas, Old Dominion, Bowling Green, Louisiana Tech, FIU, Stanford and Clemson, Iowa State, Houston, Charlotte, Rice, UL Monroe, Troy, Tulsa, and North Texas. We start with Rod.
And we'll start with the basketball game. North Carolina taking on Duke here today. It's only a point and a half. It's probably about the line you would see in a basketball game if they were facing off head-to-head. But the difference is this North Carolina team, their defense stinks. We've seen James Madison score, 70 points on them last week at home? And now they're going to come out on the road and take on this Duke team? Nah, Duke at home is a solid team. They'll be able to run the ball effectively and score plenty of points on North Carolina. And I think the Duke defense can slow up that North Carolina offense and get the win in that one. I like the over as well, 56 points. I think we get well into the 60s in that game. Not a whole lot of defense played in that one. The other one in this high spot, you got Old Dominion taking on Bowling Green. I'm going to take Old Dominion plus the points. They're a scrappy bunch that I think can keep it inside the number. You know, Bowling Green 3-0 against the number to start their season. But Old Dominion, they're a solid team and come in and can cover that number. So give me Old Dominion plus the 10 in that one. I like the over Clemson and Stanford. We've seen what Clemson's done since that first game of the season. They've just come out like gangbusters offensively. And I could just about name their number. So at 57.5, I like the over there. I know Stanford can definitely chip in some points themselves as well. So high scoring one in Clemson in that one. Take the over 57.5 there. And then where'd we go to? 7?
We just did the 7 o'clock Eastern game. We stopped at 7 at Tulsa, North Texas. We stopped at. So 7 Eastern is what we stopped.
Okay. I'll stop. I don't want to jump into it anymore.
All right. We'll stop it there. We move on over to Jorge.
All right, let's see. I think we stopped in the middle of those 12:30 games.
So it's football. Yeah, 1 Eastern to 4 Eastern.
Was the last one that I jumped on. Of course, you want to get that at 14 before it moves up. It is already moving. Miami, Ohio. That's a lot of points, too. These are all just lanes that I'm not even sure if I'll go to the window with them. But Miami, Ohio, hey, all they've done is played top-notch teams. They won the MAC conference last week. They got UMass coming in, who's absolutely horrible at 1-3. So you would say an 0-3 team favored by 16.5. Normally, you wouldn't want to do that, but there's no team in the country that wants to win more than Miami, Ohio. And they're probably the best 0-3 team in the country. Slight lean there with UMass. You have Central Florida going against Colorado. I don't know if Colorado's defense is that much better. The coaching has been a lot better, guys. The offense is slowing down a little bit. You know, that defense gets exposed and gashed when you're running a go-fast offense. that doesn't stay on the field very long. I noticed them doing that in the first game of the year. Hey, how do you keep your defense from looking so bad? Keep them off the field and keep your offense on it by running the ball. But the problem here is UCF best running team in the country. It'll be interesting. It'll be the test for sure to see if they can at least, get them into some third down and not two and, second down and 2 yards, 3 yards on every play. So that'll be an interesting, spot for them. In the Oklahoma game, Oklahoma's defense is legit. However, their offense has got some issues. They're down to a freshman quarterback, injuries everywhere. They're going to have trouble moving the ball. That might be another total that I'll look at that going under. Let's see what the total was in that one. Under 44, get a 45 anywhere, but they're 44.5. Yeah, I don't see Oklahoma. I think it'll be another low-score game, even lower scoring than Tennessee, obviously, because Auburn can't put up points the same way that they do. Another game that I think it'll be low scoring because Notre Dame just doesn't have any offense, at least not with Leonard there. I mean, they can throw a little bit against lesser teams, but Louisville's got a good defense. Another total that might look at. It might be a little bit incremental weather around Illinois, Indiana coming up from the hurricane. Under 46.5 on that one with Notre Dame. Great defense. They can run the ball. Leonard can run the ball, but again, he's had some questions, throwing the ball in that spot. And let's see, do we got anything else I like up to North Texas? Yeah, that's about it.
That's about it for that slot. All right, I'll tell you what I think here in that UTSA East Carolina game. I lead UTSA plus the points. I like better at 4 than 3. Boy, East Carolina burned me last week. I know their corner was out and they lost their corner. It was supposed to be an NFL draft. I think he tore his ACL, pretty bad injury there. But man, they burned me against Liberty. I just can't touch them right now. I'm going to look here at Duke laying the points. Of course, we know they have the better defense, kind of a defensive-minded team, even though there was a coaching change. But they have been efficient through the air. I'll look at that spot. Mississippi State and Texas. There's looks like Arch Manning will get the start. Ewers is still experiencing the problem with his ab, but I like that game going over. I think Mississippi State's, we've seen they have a passing attack, but man, their defense is bad, man. Giving 5 yards a carry, 71% completions. We know Texas is getting great offensive production and defense, so I'll look at that spot with the over in that game. I like Clemson to pound Stanford. This is tough with Stanford. Back-to-back road games back east here for Stanford in this spot, and I think it's a tough one for them. So I'll look here at laying it there with Clemson in that spot. Boy, this is a tough one to take. I like Houston plus the 14.5 against Iowa State. Iowa State's one of those ground and pound teams. The Cougars defensively are holding teams stopping the run and stopping the pass. They did play Oklahoma tough in that road loss in this conference game. I'll take that 14.5 at home here for the Houston Cougars. UL Monroe and Troy. I'm still a believer of Troy. UL Monroe, we look at Troy's played a real tough schedule, but they're still running for 4.3 yards a carry. UL Monroe is just getting inefficient passing quarterback play, and I'll look here at Troy and laying the points in that spot. And let's see what else we've got here. Tulsa's been a pretty good road underdog. 8-2 to the spread as a road dog. I'll look at taking the points there with Tulsa. They have run the football effectively. 5.2 yards a carry, 7.3 yards a pass. We know the Mean Green is all offense, no defense. So I look for Tulsa to hang in there and cover those points. All right, let's continue here on the morning show as we continue here with this with these picks here from college football. And I think we may just close. Again, we're not getting a lot of those late night games here. So let's see what we got here on the slate. Well, let's cut this slate in half. We will go all the way till, let's see. No, we really can't cut in half because there's a lot of 80s. Let's go. Middle Tennessee State, Memphis, Illinois, Penn State, Georgia, Alabama, the big one. Ohio State, Michigan State, South Alabama. Let's stop it here at South Alabama, LSU. These are big games here. Let's just knock it off.
Go to the 8.
Go to 8. Well, we go to 8. There's nothing left after that. But
don't cover 8. Stop before 8. Go into the 7:45 game, right? Southern Alabama, LSU, 7:45.
We'll stop right there. Yeah, there we go. Middle Tennessee, Memphis, Illinois, Penn State, Georgia, Alabama, Ohio State, Michigan State, South Alabama, LSU. We start with Rod.
Yeah, well, look at that Ohio State taking on Michigan State. You know what? That's going to be a battle. And at 48, I think that's the total's way too light on that one. I like the over in that one. Michigan State's going to be able to score some points. Ohio State definitely going to be able to score some points. battle in that one. And the head-to-head, we've seen the over be more prominent than unders in that one. So give me the over 48 there. And then Illinois and Penn State. You know what? I'm going to take all that boatload of points with Illinois. This is a battle. This is one of those ones that Illinois got circled to come and play in Penn State. I know it's tough to come play in that whiteout condition in Penn State. Going to be the crowd will be ruckus, place to be going absolutely bananas. But 18 points, that's too many, way too many. This Illinois defense will be able to slow up Penn State enough to make some stops and keep within a 2 touchdown. I don't see Penn State blowing out Illinois in this one. They're always close battles, so give me Illinois plus the 18 in that one. And then what else is in this spot? Middle Tennessee taking on Memphis. You know, I think that's too many too. Give me Middle Tennessee plus the 26 points is what you're getting with Middle Tennessee. I know they're 0-4 in the year. So far is Middle Tennessee, but it's over. So you know their defense isn't as good. The number's at 61. Probably cruise right over that number. But for me, head to head, that's just too many. It's the last time we seen them head to head was 36-17. Yeah, I'm going to take 25 and a half points. Yeah, I don't see Memphis blowing them up by that many. Give me Middle Tennessee plus the 25 and a half points in that one.
Yeah. There from Rob. Move on over to Jorge.
Oh no, man! Memphis put up over 600 yards last week, even though they lost. They got some offense there, but you're braver than I am. Would I lay that? No, but I might take him first quarter. Probably come out like a buzzsaw. To get up on the point. If it's around a touch, if you get it 6.5, 7, it'd be great. Probably can't, but might have a shot there. Illinois, I think Illinois is one of the better teams that is playing with defense. Now the Penn State offense is drastically improved. This is probably going to be their first big test, but 18.5 is too many points. Illinois is just playing great football, and obviously they're going to try to keep that Penn State offense off the field by running the ball. So that'll be an interesting matchup in the Big Ten. Man, a slight lean to Alabama at home, plus points. I don't care. I see a plus 1.5. Don't care. Alabama at home is a dog. Georgia hasn't run the ball like they used to, and you got to have a balanced attack to have that top 3, top 5 offense. Especially when you go up against another top 5 offense or defense. So that'll be a tough spot. Michigan State, I've been saying it all week. Plus 24 here. Ohio State coming in. I don't know if it'll be that close of a game, but I do think plus 24 would be a good spot there. And can you do anything else but the over on LSU and Southern Alabama? I mean, who cares what it is? I don't think LSU's going to slow down Southern Alabama. You know what? Southern Alabama could win this game, guys.
You take the points too.
You absolutely take the. If this just comes out to a shootout where they forget about running the ball and they're slinging it, it's back and forth. Southern Alabama should, went into Appalachian State and showed that they're going to keep slinging it no matter who it is. And LSU doesn't have much of a secondary, so it'll be interesting to see.
No doubt about that. People were very surprised that UCLA covered that game against LSU. And in the game, down touchdown happened. To me, the biggest surprise, they were down 7 after 3. That shocked me there. Yeah, I look at Middle Tennessee plus the 26. They do have an experienced quarterback. Seems like he's been there forever for Nicholas Tatadio. They are completing 64% of their passes, 7.4 yards per pass attempt. That against the Memphis defense, you can cover that game. So I'll take them there. I'm with you guys there with Illinois taking the points plus 18. Of course, got to trust them. They have wins against Kansas and Nebraska, getting effective passing numbers. The passing numbers are what surprised me because for the longest time, this Illinois team was just one-dimensional, just run. But they actually have a passing game this year, which gives me hope to take the points here. Yeah, again, Alabama, first time they're a home dog in 20 years. I know people are going to say, they're a home dog for a reason, but I like what I'm seeing from the role at quarterback. So I'll take the plus 2 there. I'm with Michigan State taking the plus 24. The coaching change is definitely improvement. We're seeing offensive improvement here from Michigan State, even against the bad teams. Remember, Michigan State's numbers are even horrible against bad teams. So they're actually showing some effectiveness here on both sides of the field. Then we know Ohio State plays somewhat of a weak schedule. We'll say that. Again, I teased it earlier. I'll take South Alabama plus the points because LSU's defense isn't very good. You couldn't cover against UCLA. I think South Alabama could beat UCLA, to be honest with you, the way UCLA has looked this year. I'll take South Alabama and
it's worth the sprinkle at plus 800. Might as well.
Might be worth it.
Might as well. It's worth
Yeah,
a
that's
shot.
going to be a shootout for sure. There's no question about that.
Yeah. I'm not into golf betting. I tried playing golf, and I never got into it. I need to get good lessons. I just don't have time for golf. To be honest with you, I think I don't really bet it. Sorry, I don't know, or any of the guys here do.
It's too hard to pick up any tips off the guys that are commentating because they're only whispering like this, as if they're like standing next to the golfer. They're not next to the damn golfer. No one gives a shit.
Why are you talking so low, man? Why are you talking so low? What's wrong with you?
We got slight fees.
Why are you talking so low, man?
Yeah, I had that issue when I went to go see tennis a long time back, the Virginia Slims Tour, Newport Beach, back in the heyday of women's tennis. Well, they would say "quiet, please," and that kind of turned me off.
Happy Gilmore too after 30 years,
That's
right?
different. Tennis can be
Happy
loud.
Gilmore 2, come on. You got to get excited about Happy Gilmore 2 is coming out.
What's that cup called? Is it the Davis Cup when it's country versus country? There's a little bit more fanfare there, and those are to me a good atmosphere. Back in the days, we talked about Andre Agassi. Back in those days when those players played, it was much better.
That's what this presidential cup is. It's Team USA versus the Internationals. It's being played in Montreal.
Oh, that's cool. I might watch that.
So what happened was on the first day of the event, the U.S. popped out to a 5-0 lead. What they do is they play doubles and 4-ball and
cool.
two guys, right? So it's not just a single tournament event. It's a team event. So what happened was the Team USA jumped out 5-0 on day one. Yesterday, the Internationals bounced back and they went 5-0. So it's all tied, square up, 5 points aside here heading into Saturday's action. So we got some good action. Lots of good players on international. Corey Connors, lots of from Japan and China. Lots of those players have come over, and European players all on Team International. You know, all the guys in the U.S. Scotty Chef was having a career year, so it's some good action. If you like golf, then definitely check it out because it's not bad. But betting it, I can't bet it. I made a bet Corey Connors highest international score at the start of it. But head to head, that 4-ball, I don't follow golf enough to be able to give you a bet on. Can't say that I could jump in and be like, hey, here's a side I like. No, it would just be a flip of a coin. So I don't want to flip of a coin bet.
Yeah, problem is in the wintertime in January, February, March, it goes head to head with college basketball. It just makes it tough. Just makes it a little too tough there to follow golf when you got all these 100+ college basketball games on a weekend. All right, we'll continue here. We'll close out college football here. Florida State. This is an ACC game. Florida State, SMU, Cincinnati, Texas Tech, the Battle of New Mexico and New Mexico State, Air Force, and Wyoming. What's going on with these teams? My goodness. Washington State, Boise, Arizona, Utah. Circle on that game, as you know, limited because of the quarterback situation. Oregon, UCLA to close it out. We start with Rod.
Yeah, and I'm going to take that under in Arizona and Utah. We know that Utah defense can definitely slow teams up. We can definitely slow up Arizona as well. So in that late night action, Cam Rising should be getting the start for Utah in that one. So I'm quite sure he's back.
How often have we heard that?
A couple times, but he's been seen in practice and he's been seen with the team. So I think he plays in that one. But I still think it's one of those late games that's hard hitting, low scoring. Give me the under 47. I would like to lay it with Utah in that point, but you got to go with the under in that one, late one. And then you look Washington and Boise State. They could be still scoring touchdowns by the time we hit this game tomorrow. Talking about NFL, give me the over 65.5. It started at 61. It's just well on the rise. I think we get into the 70s in there. Not a whole lot of defense played there. And SMU and Florida State, give me SMU. I'm going to take the extendo line on that. I think they beat up on Florida State. That SMU offense can definitely roll. Florida State's offense doesn't look so good. I know their defense is pretty good, but I think this SMU offense will have their way with Florida State. Take the extendo minus 13.5. I think they win by 2 touchdowns over Florida State today in that one. And you know what? You look at Texas Tech and I playing half decent football, but so Cincinnati. I like Cincinnati's offense. I'm going to take the Bearcats to come into Texas and upset Texas Tech in that one. Give me the Bearcats. You can take the 3 if you want, but I'm going to take the Bearcats on the money line in this one. I think they big upset alert. Cincinnati walks into Texas and gets themselves the outright win versus Texas Tech.
Yeah, from Rod. All right, move on over to Jorge.
Yeah, Cincinnati's playing pretty good football, man. Texas Tech, they got offense, but they're lacking some defense. Don't know if I could, trust them to have a narrow victory coming in with the conference game. Yeah, Cincinnati's playing good football, and surprisingly, I thought they had a bad defense. They don't. They're pretty good defense.
They don't.
Definitely.
No.
Yeah, we'll lean there with Cincinnati plus 3.5 on that one. I won't be as ballsy as Rod there, but I'll take the 3.5 with the hook. Yeah, man, two gutter bowl games early on in the year. New Mexico State. Even though New Mexico, that is the old BYU coach over there, and he was given nothing when he got there. Actually, same thing with New Mexico State. I've actually met the New Mexico State coach. He was the Bishop Gorman High School coach and the ex-UNLV coach, Sanchez, down in New Mexico State, and they're also getting crushed. So that I don't know. I think that just might be a lot of points. I don't even know if it could be a hard-hitting rivalry. It's so bad. Air Force Wyoming, yeah, I don't know what to think there. Wyoming's just been horrible, and they try to do a hurry-up offense to hurry up and punt. I've never seen so low of stats with so low of possession time on that, and I have to stay away from that one. Yeah, Boise State, we'll find out how good they are. The defense obviously has been gashed this year. Washington State's going to put up points. Didn't put up too many against Washington, but I think that's because of Washington's defense there. Yeah, this one's going to be high scoring all the way through. If you can get a +7, I just think it's going to be the team who has the ball last is going to be the one that probably end up winning the game. And over to Utah and Arizona, I agree with Rod on the total there. Rising might not even be playing in this Arizona game, and Arizona is just one-trick pony now. Coach left. All they have is the quarterback and receiver combo. And Utah's got a veteran secondary. Definitely, I don't know if I'd lean to Utah on this one because they had trouble scoring without Rising last year, but definitely like the under in that game.
Yeah, from Jorge, I'll tell you what I like here. I'm going to take Florida State here plus the points. This just has a look of an ugly game here. Florida State can defend. What bothers me was that SMU performance against BYU. They were held to 15 points there. I could see this being a 3 or 4 point game there. This is an ugly smackdown conference game. New Mexico State. I'm going to take the points with the Aggies here. Boy, that defense in New Mexico is just when you're giving up 6.5 yards a carry, 68% completions, 9.1 yards per completion against, and again, inefficient quarterback play. New Mexico State was competitive at home against Liberty. So I don't understand this. Maybe it's because of the Mountain West affiliation, but I'll take the points there with New Mexico. Staying away from Wyoming, these teams have really downtrodden, in my opinion. I will lay it here with Utah. I just think I saw that Kansas game. I think we could see the same type of game where Utah just smacks Arizona on the ground. I'm always worried about Fafita. That's why it wasn't a premium, because always Fafita is a quality quarterback. He stayed with the program. I'm gonna take the points with these Bruins, man. I just can't help myself. Oregon is giving up almost 5 yards a carry on the ground. They continue to have. They seem to do everything well except in that run defense for some reason. But I'm going to take them there. And UCLA is still showing effectiveness defensively. And Garbers came out with a pretty good performance last week, even though it was against LSU. The 25.5 may just be too much against an experienced quarterback with Garbers, and the fact that the Ducks defense here is having their struggles here, giving up nearly 5 yards a carry. So that's how I'll look at it. Well, we closed out college football. Before we move on to baseball, we'll ask Rod if there's any other game up there he might have missed.
Any other game that I missed on the board that we went through that we missed?
Of course he missed one. He probably missed 3.
I don't think I missed any of these. I've got 19 premium plays in college football today, so I don't think I missed a whole lot of these games.
You got them all.
Then definitely head over to Tony's Picks and scoop them up.
There you go. Scoop them up
Definitely
for
got
Rod.
a stacked schedule. I've always been high volume on college football, and it's done me well. I haven't got, like I said, I haven't hit one of those days where it's been like really ugly, where you go like 2-16 or something crazy. No,
it's not going to happen.
Yeah, it's not going to happen. It's just it's you put the work in and you do the things. And I've had big days where you went 16-2, definitely. That's what we're looking for today. So, and that's winning college football season so far. we had a little dip in the road, but hey, still winning. Still positive on the year. So let's continue crushing college football. I love college football.
Continue calling college football. Indeed. All right, Tori. Anything you missed on the board?
Yeah, I'm just gonna be on late.
Charlotte
after.
and Rice. Rice stinks. Give me Charlotte. I would have.
He couldn't help himself. Look at him. He's over there twitching. He couldn't help himself. He had to go for 20. He had to get number 20 out there.
You got to get 20 out there. You look at Charlotte and Rice has been awful. So I would lay with Charlotte. I think Charlotte got a good shot to outright Rice. Rice isn't good. They're no good. You throw Rice at weddings, not in football.
Don't give it to birds; it'll blow them up.
Well, that's what they're supposedly supposed to not throw rice at weddings anymore, just for that reason, because the birds were eating it. Right? So definitely. But yeah, take the Charlotte the points. But the Sharps to bet that number down to it's like 6, 5.5. I would rather have the 7, 7.5 you could have got earlier in the week on that Charlotte game. But I still like them. I think they're going to be added to the dog parlay here at the end of the show.
All right, Jorge, you got anything else?
I'm going to be putting up some totals here now. There's a couple that that I've seen up there that'll be plays. Just got to look into it a little bit more. See who's playing, who's not playing. For those that are listening, actually probably going to do the Boston College one, especially if the starting quarterback's out. They're definitely going to run the ball and run the ball. And I don't see.
I must say he's going to be out. That's why that line. It wasn't
like 13
Western
Kentucky's not going to move the ball. Like I said, the first game of the year when everyone thought Boston College sucked, he's not going to throw the ball on Tim Lewis.
And then
that's just not going to happen.
7.5 is where it's down to now.
That dude's just too good. The defense is too good. They got pro level coaches in there. They proved all year long they're going to not only going to get into a bowl, they're going to get into a good bowl. They're going to have a good season all the way through. So that's it. And I haven't even had a look at baseball, guys. So I'm going to take a jump here on this now and get the rest of my games up.
All right. So again, with Jorge over at Tony's Picks, get his plays. Guys, the one I missed, I'm going to take ODU plus the 10 here against Bowling Green. ODU's defended well. And the Falcons defense gave up over 5.5 yards a carry, 8.3 yards per pass attempt. And, ODU was competitive in that loss here by 4 at South Carolina. So that's the one I missed there. All right. Let's go around and before we get to baseball, let's find out what the guys have for sale over at Tony'sPicks.com. I know it's a big weekend here of action. Baseball closing out regular season. We've got also W starting tomorrow. Rob, what's going on over at Tony's Picks?
And over at Tony's Picks today, I've got an early college football 5-pack. I've got a late night 5-pack, and in that late night 5-pack, it has my 10-star executive info play. We're 51 and 40 on my 10-star plays of the day over the last 91 days. So definitely jump aboard it. It's been the big money maker there. Our best deal going is jump aboard something long term. I've got 6 plays of NFL in for tomorrow as well already. So I'm looking at you already got 28 plays going this weekend. So instead of buying all those individually, your best deal is to grab something long term. Pair me up with Jorge. You see he's on top of the college leaderboard over at Tony's Picks. So pair me up with Jorge and you'll have yourself a nice, wonderful day in college. Take advantage of that 2-for-1 capper promotional. Use that promo code TonyT at checkout. Save 15% off all your purchases. But jump aboard. Big day loading in college football.
Big day. You can see Rod having a great year this year at Tony'sPicks.com. You see the numbers all documented over on the site. Check them out over at Tony's Picks. All right, Jorge, let everybody know what you got for sale over at Tony's Picks. Again, looking for a big weekend here. Of course, you've been having a fantastic college football year. We see you nearly 1,700 units of profit for the year.
Yeah, I've had a good couple of days just grinding out 2-0 records. Going to put some more plays up today. I got a blowout win package that I put up 10 stars. I like the information on that one and a good number. That's up on the website right now, but I'm going to be throwing some totals out there and package them up. Probably end up with anywhere between 3 and 5 plays today, depending what I can see on the numbers and some information. Weather, injuries, anything else I can find. So with me, it's always get that 3-day package for the whole weekend. You'll definitely get some late steam with me. I'm not afraid to put up a game towards the end there, and they'll email it out to you. And you can always get that same deal if you buy any 3 of us that are here on the show in the combined packages. So you grind it away, trying to get one more winner than loser every day.
Try to get with Jorge over at Tony'sPicks.com. And get on board. I've not tried this yet. Here, let's see. Nope, I can't do that yet here. All right, let's continue here on the show. Let's get it right. There we go.
There
All
it
right.
is. Take it easy, guys.
Take it easy, guys. Jorge will see.
Yeah,
Say bye to Jorge. We'll say hello to Steve Duncan. He'll join us here for the baseball segment. A brave man here. Saturday baseball. How you doing, Steve?
Yeah, it's been a bit of a grind in baseball this time of year, but it's fun. So I like it.
It's fun, and then of course, with all the, we do have some overnight pitching changes. We'll keep an eye on that here. Obviously, with the scenarios here, some teams have clinched. It is the end of the season for some of these. Well, the last two games, some teams eliminated, but we'll get to it. Keep an eye on the weather. There is a 55% chance of rain in that Cubs-Cincinnati game. The wind is blowing in, so you see that low total. Let's see if there's any other weather out there to let you guys know about. Not so. There are some pitching changes from the overnight. We'll cover that here before we get started. You guys seem to like that. Looks like Brisk is on the mound for Detroit today. Detroit already clinched, although they're trying to fight for that. I guess there's a seeding issue with Kansas City. We'll see how that rolls out. Let's see what the other pitching changes were. Looks like Miami's going with Xavier Curry today. That should change from the overnight. Also changes from the overnight will be, let's see, Jose Quintana in for the Mets. Colin Ray will now be the primary pitcher. There'll be an opener for Milwaukee. Let's see what else we've got here as far as the overnight changes. Okay, for the Padres, since the Padres have already clinched home field for the wild card, Randy Vasquez on the mound for the Padres. Let's see what else there. And for Seattle, it'll be Emerson Hancock. Looks like Castillo's hamstring's not healthy enough to be in there. So Estes versus Emerson Hancock for Seattle. So those are the changes from the overnight there in baseball. So let's get underway here with Major League Baseball. Ready to close out. Well, we still got another day tomorrow. The following Saturday of the regular season. We'll start skiing. This is the one everyone's looking forward to. They've been looking forward to this one for a while. Skeens at Yankee Stadium. Skeens Day against the Yankees. Pirates, Yankees, White Sox, Tigers, Reds, Cubs. We start with Rod.
Yeah, Skeens Day in Yankee Stadium. Doesn't it look like they're begging you to take Skeens? I think everybody's going to jump on Skeens because they're like, "Ooh, plus money for Skeens!" Ooh, not doing it. Give me the Yankees there in that one. I'm not doing it. We've seen plenty of times. Skeens is now 8-7 over his last 15 as the team. So, as our buddy Beitler would say, they're begging you to take the Pittsburgh with Skeens at that plus money. Why? Why is Skeens plus money today? The Yankees clinch. We've seen them celebrate. Yankees win this one today. Give me the Yankees in that one. Definitely begging you to take Skeens. Not doing it. I'm going to go over and look at Detroit. We see what Detroit did. It was 4-1. Don't have to score a whole lot, but you only need 2 to win by 2 to get that run line. Detroit did clinch yesterday, but I think they're still battling the Royals. They want a little bit of home field advantage in that wild card. So give me the Tigers on the run line in that one. And you look Hendricks on the mound for the Cubs. Cincinnati looks like I think they've completely checked out. Another one there. They're Ladder on the mound. He's been pitching half decent for the Reds, but with that wind blowing in, I would take it under again, like we seen yesterday, 1-0. But give me the Cubs at that coin flip price in that one. And then Miami, just take Miami.
You went ahead there.
Oh, I went too far? My bad.
Too far. It went too far. All right. Let's move on over to Steven.
Yeah, the Pittsburgh Yankees game, and I've been on Skeens first 5 all year, and it's done me well, but not today. I agree. This is kind of a nervous spot too, and people aren't paying attention to Hill. He's freaking dealing as well. Like, they're both really good pitchers. I got this at 7.5, and I took the under on it. I like the under 7.5 on that one, and I would be leaning the Yankees as well. -118 is a good price, man. They're going to be they're in good spirits right now. I think the Pirates probably, it's like, let's get this over with. It's time to get home too. So I think the Yankees want to have a few wins under there, but keep on winning as they go into the playoffs and get some good mojo going. So I'll take the Yankees in that one. White Sox versus Tigers. It's on the mound. Burke is on the mound. This kid has been pitching very well. Now their starting lineup, if they could ever get hitting, holy crap! For pitchers, I should say, they could ever get hitting. And Detroit on it's going to be Brisky. That's going to be bullpen day, right? Their bullpen has been insane. Their bullpen has been insane. So I think Burke pitches well. I think their bullpen. I don't think you see much hitting in this game. So I'm going to take the under in that one as well. I'm going to lean the White Sox, but I'm not sure about the run line. Burke's now, if they do get into the bullpen, maybe it ends up like 3-0, something like that at the end of it, and then we're both good, Rod and I. Reds versus Cubs. I'm sticking with this Louder kid, man. Especially with Hendricks on the mound. I do agree with the under because you're saying like the wind is coming in pretty strong. But that being said, I'll take Louder over Hendricks all day. First 5, and I might even go full game on that one.
From Steve, or I say what I like about these games. I like the under in the Pirates and the Yankees. Boy, Skeens, got to respect him a lot. 1 earned run or fewer in 4 straight. Hill has been pitched effectively as well. Pirates in the past 7 innings, 214. The Yankees bullpen has performed well over their past 7. The team is 5-1 in the under in Skeens' past 6 on the road. I'll look that way. White Sox, Detroit. Eventually, I looked to run line, but once the Tigers won that game, I kind of reversing course here. I'm going to look at the under. If anything's impactful here, it's going to be the Tigers' bats after clinching because they celebrate a little bit. I think the Tigers can win this game, even hung over against the White Sox. You know, what I mean.
The White Sox have lost. The White Sox have lost 18 straight against the AL Central. The streak going there for the White Sox against the AL Central. So, and 18-0, you can go without one.
Well, since they've legalized marijuana, I think they can win high. They can win high and drunk against the White Sox. Right. So I'm going to add that in there as well. I'll be that guy that takes the Reds. Hendricks has just been. They're saying this will be Hendricks' last start in Chicago. It doesn't matter. I think the Slaughter has pitched well, and team record behind Hendricks 1-5 with a -5 unit loss. There, they don't win for him. So that's how I'll look at those 3 in that slot. All right, let's continue on here on the Tony Six Morning Shows. We continue on with this 15-game card from Major League Baseball. We'll be here with. I know Rod's wanted to talk about the Blue Jays. We got them now. Marlins, Blue Jays, Cardinals, Giants, Phillies, and Nats. We start with Rod.
Well, yeah, jumping on the Blue Jays. Uriel Rodriguez is going to get the start for the Blue Jays. And I don't think it matters who they throw out there. They're gas cans. The Blue Jays had if they had any interest in this weekend series whatsoever, they would have showed up yesterday, and they obviously did not. They got whooped by a Marlins team that had a bullpen that was that's been taxed. The Marlins team, they just keep winning. They showed up in Minnesota. They showed up in Toronto. I think they sweep the Blue Jays. Blue Jays doesn't look like they have any interest in these games whatsoever. Sorry, sucks to be a fan going to the Blue Jays game on the weekend today. I don't know what the get-in price is for that, but your get-in price is to watch a loss. The Marlins scored 15. They're still running the bases. I think they run it up again today. So at that plus price, only one way to go is the Marlins. As I said, Rodriguez has not been good at all. At home, 0-2 at home with sporting a 4 ERA. Yeah. Go against the Blue Jays there in that one. And then you look at these other 2, and it's Washington got the job done yesterday at a big plus price. Let me go back to Washington at that big plus price. Wheeler's on the mound. I think he's just stretching his arm and keeping him ready for the playoffs. And we've seen I've seen Wheeler. How long are they gonna let go him? I think he goes 5 innings at best. Last time out, he gave up a couple 7 hits. So for me, I'm going to go again. The Phillies, they're just waiting for the playoffs. Give me the Nats in that one. These ones are tough. I wouldn't be wanting to lay anything big with any of these teams that really the Phillies are definitely looking forward to the playoffs coming up. As we know that the Dodgers one win away from winning the first overall seed. So it's almost a foregone conclusion there. So not much to play there for the Phillies. And then the other one, St. Louis and San Fran. We look at St. Louis got the win yesterday. I think we'll go right back to St. Louis again. I think Palanta's pitching a lot better than Tristan Beck. Tristan Beck's a reliever. He'll go 1 inning, 2 if they can get 2 innings out of him. Maybe 3 if they can get 3 innings out of him. But his last one, you
got Beck. I show Snell. You got Beck in that game.
Well, then maybe Beck's going to start as a starter. He's a reliever, right? So I got Beck as a starter.
Okay.
But he's a reliever, right? So he might open it up and maybe they shut down Snell for the year. I'm not sure, but I got Tristan Beck.
You got Tristan Beck, okay. Because the total still shows the total went from 7 to 7.5 in that game. It was 7 for most of the time under juice. So yeah, because I'm showing Snell still. So we'll see how that goes. All right.
Oh, maybe I don't. Yeah, because we know Beck is a reliever, right? He's only going to go 1-2 innings at best. So then maybe Snell comes in after that. But if they've got Beck as a starter, I would say that's a bullpen game, and Snell's not going to start this game. Maybe he starts tomorrow. Hold him off for one game till tomorrow. Keep an eye on that one. Either way, I'm going to go with St. Louis just for that. If it was Snell, I would be all over the Giants, but I'm going to go with St. Louis with Beck starting. That looks like a bullpen game. Looks like they might hold Snell off for tomorrow's game. I don't know who's got schedules for tomorrow for the Giants, but
Snell said he's not re-signing, so do whatever.
Maybe that's it. Yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe he's gone. Maybe he's already. They went to go stay at the ball, and they looked, and you're like, oh, his locker's cleaned out. Anybody see Snell? Where'd Snell go? Anybody see Snell?
Yeah.
Give me that situation. So then
he's opting out.
Yeah, he could have opted out and said, "Yeah, I'm calling in sick for the last 2 days."
Yeah.
Could be possible there for sure. So give me St. Louis in that one.
St. Louis there from Rod. All right, we'll move on over to Steven.
Yeah, my Blue Jays. To tell you, the people wonder why the Blue Jays don't do well because they have no heart. They have no heart whatsoever. You can't even for your fans at least come out and beat up on the Marlins like yesterday, especially. Like they look like they are totally on their fishing boats, like all. They're making their fishing plans and all that crap, and it's pathetic to tell you the honest truth. It truly is. That team is going nowhere because they've got no heart at all. So yeah, I'll take the Marlins. What the heck? I mean, I'm not going to believe in that team. Ridiculous. Rodriguez, a kid, he has something to pitch for because he wants to stay in the lineup, but I just have no faith in that team whatsoever. As far as Phillies and Nationals. Thing is, the Phillies absolutely smash Gore. Like they hit 300 against Gore. Now, I admit that maybe the bats aren't going to be flying as much. I don't know about that. And Wheeler probably won't go more than 5. You don't want to waste his arm, and they probably won't use their best bullpen. And so, if that being the case, the Nationals will probably get enough runs here. I think that 7.5 is a little low. I'll go on the over in that game. 7.5 at -112. And Giants and Cardinals. Guess who bet on Snell last night?
You did.
Yeah. So So I'm gonna say the Giants, but don't listen to me because I just want them to win. I'm nowhere near as confident now that they're going to win in a bullpen game. If I would have known that, I wouldn't have been in on this. So. I'll just say the Giants. Cry a little bit.
I'll look at 2 in this time slot. Yeah, I can only look at the Marlins at the plus price here. Rodriguez in his past 7 starts, ERA approaching 6. I don't trust the Blue Jays bullpen right now. And the way it's looked has not been good. So I'll look here at over 7.5. And like I said before, anytime I see 7.5 in a Washington National game, I'm going over. That's just the way, even Wheeler on the mound. I don't know if Wheeler's going to go deep in this game because, again, it's his last start of the regular season. He got to get his arm ready for the playoffs. We can see the bullpen come in. And I guess you said the bullpen's been pounded by this Phillies bullpen has struggled. And you look at Philadelphia, they've gone over now, and it's 8 of their past 10 on the road. And Philadelphia's still hitting the ball pretty well. So I'll look at that one going over. I'm going to stay away from the Cardinals Giants. Again, a lot of this overnight changes here. I'll lay off that one. All right, let's continue here on the Tony Zix Morning Show. We're with you here every day, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Let's get to the next games here. We've got the Rays, Red Sox, Guardians, Astros, Mets, and the Brewers. And we get to start with Rod.
Yeah, and you look at this slate of games here going. I'm going to go right back to Tampa Bay like I did yesterday. Tampa Bay, and it's one of those low-scoring ones. Both offenses definitely look like they checked out, but I'm going to go with the Rays in that one over Boston and the plus price. And every time I see Verlander, I'm going to go the other way. I see Verlander, and I'm like, ooh, he hasn't been good. It's just we're waiting. Everybody's waiting for him to have that go back to old school, but he didn't get the time machine, so he's not going back to old school Verlander. It's what you got now, and it hasn't been pretty. So give me the Guardians there in that one. They play their best ball at home, too. And they're more than a happy, proud bunch with a bunch of young. Even if they don't have all their stars going in that one for the Guardians, I'd still like the Guardians to get the win in that one. And which one did we go to? Oh, we went to the Mets.
Mets and
one that actually
Brewers.
means something. Mets and the Brewers. Brewers playing spoiler, eh? They got the win yesterday. But I think the Mets bounce back here in this one. Coin flip price. You look Quintana on the mound for the Mets. And then over his last 3 starts, man, he's been dealing 3-0 with a .48 ERA, a 1.02 whip. I think he deals for the Mets in this one. The Mets have won his last 4 starts. He hasn't given up an earned run in, 20.2 innings? Quintana's been dealing. Give me the Mets in that one.
Yeah, from Rod, we move over to Steven.
Yeah, I agree with the Rays. I mean, Crawford's last outing wasn't too bad, but I mean, before that, he was just getting punched up. Tampa Bay's lineup isn't that great, but I think they could get to Crawford. And Baz has been dealing. That kid is doing well, so I'll back him. And their bullpen against Boston there. Astros, yeah, I agree. I mean, it's just you can't back Verlander right now. It's sad to watch. We talked about it before. It's sad to watch. I mean, Lively hasn't been really pitching all that well the last little bit either. But I'll take the Guardians bullpen to be able to get them to win on that one. Probably early. Probably wouldn't be a bad idea to go. No, I wouldn't say that because I was going to say first 5 for Cleveland, but I'll change it. I'll just take them on the money line there. Verlander is just too bad. And what are we doing? Mets Brewers? Yeah, Quintana is pitching unbelievable. It's been fantastic. I don't know. I got this funny feeling though that when once he gets out, that Milwaukee might be able to keep this close and then come back late. So I'm just going to take him because he's pitching so well. I'm going to take him on first 5 on that one.
First 5 there from Steven. All right, I'll tell you what I think about these games here. I'm again with Rays in this spot. Bass has pitched well. Boy, the team record by Crawford his career at home when he's favored 4-15, losing 17 units. That's rough there. So I'll look at Tampa Bay. I'll look at Cleveland here. Verlander, boy, he's just you're probably not going to see him in the postseason unless it's mop up duty. Can you believe that? Verlander is pitching his way out of the postseason rotation and probably just in probably relief role. That's very strange to see, but he's just giving up too much contact. The strikeout numbers have dropped dramatically. So he's pitching the contact. Past 8 starts, ERA over 8.5. And again, it's the Guardians bullpen outperforming the Astros as well. So Verlander on the road against a winning team, 1-4, losing 3.5 units. I'm 2 here with the Mets coming in here. Quintana in for Peterson. So he'll get the start here. Rays just he got crushed. He's getting crushed by the home run ball right now. So I'll look at the Mets in that spot. All right, let's continue here on the 26 Morning Show as we get ready for the next series of games here from Major League Baseball. This next slot of games will be Orioles Twins. We got Royals Braves, Padres, and D-backs. We start with Rod.
And you know what? This is the spot for the Twins, the Orioles. They looked at the Twins yesterday and they decided, we're going to beat you up a little bit. See, this is what we can do to you. We'll give you the last one here. So here in this one, Baltimore, I think I don't see a starter going. TBD, probably be a bullpen game. Use very little, as they'll be definitely looking forward to the playoffs and resting some guys there. So I think this is what happens to Twins after the no pressure. You've been completely eliminated. give your home team a little bit of a show here. Give me the Twins of the run line. I think they have a half decent Saturday because Baltimore just doesn't look like they're going to put that effort into this game. And the Twins, well, you want to go out on a winning note, so give me the Twins there in that one. I know most people are like, just don't bet that Twins. I am going to do it there in that one. And then you look at the Royals in Atlanta, right? And Atlanta must win. Continue rolling right along. Seth Lugo on the bump for the Royals in that one. And you look what he does on the road. And he's 9-3. It's where he pitches his best on the road, does Seth Lugo. Sub-3 ERA this season on the road. This is where he pitches his best. So I like an under there. I think we got more of a pitcher's duel. Going to feel like a playoff game. Ronaldo Lopez has been dealing all year for the Braves there in that one. Give me the under 7.5 with a lean to Atlanta in that one. And did we get to the Padres, Arizona?
It's this one. Yep. It's this part. It's this slate.
Okay. And then the Padres in Arizona. You look, man, big plus price for the Padres. I get it. Vasquez is on the mound for the Padres. And you know what? Even the last time that he was on the mound, he gives up a few runs. He definitely gave up a few runs last time out. He got rocked. But on the other side with Arizona, you got Eduardo Rodriguez on the bump, and he got rocked last time himself. So I don't think either of these starters equate to who gets the win in that one. Take the over 9. I said try to chase the under 9 yesterday, and that didn't work so well.
It did work.
It did work, right?
Yeah, it worked.
Right.
Yeah, they
That's
stopped
right.
scoring. They stopped
They
scoring.
stopped scoring. It looked like it wasn't going to work early, but the bullpen stepped up, and it did work, right? But I don't think that's going to work here today. Not with Vasquez and Rodriguez going on the mound. Take the over 9 in that one. It is going to have that same like a playoff game. But I think we get over the 9. I think we see runs early and often in this one because Randy Vasquez has been hit hard, and we know that the Arizona bats can get to him. So I like the over in this one.
Yeah, from Rod, we'll move over to Steven.
Do you have a total for that Twins Orioles game?
I'm showing 9 in South Point DraftKings. 9.
9. Yeah.
I get what Rod's saying there about the Twins. It's like the Orioles aren't going to be probably putting out their best here, but man, it's hard to back anybody with Matthews right now. It's like really hard to back them. Probably I lean to the Twins and I lean to the over. Not my favorite game on the board, obviously. And I agree with the under 7.5 there. This is 2 very good pitchers. It's also going to probably be pretty tight because the Braves really need this win. So I see an under. Lugo has been pitching extremely well as of late. Both pitchers are really good. So I do like the under there. As far as the side, just because they need it so bad, maybe the Braves, but I would just stay away from the side. And Padres Diamondbacks, I had that over like last night already. That's an over spot all the heck. So Diamondbacks bullpen, if they don't catch it, they'll get early and probably often. I would lean the Padres at that big +6, 165 just for the value.
There from Steven. All right, I'll take a look here at the under here. Kansas City backed into the playoffs. I really thought Atlanta would sweep them, but Minnesota couldn't win. Royals are playing. They're in a battle with the Tigers for the 5 and 6 seed. I don't think it really matters. That's why it wasn't a premium for me here. So but I still like the under here in KC Atlanta. Lopez has been solid. Lugo, 2 runs or fewer in 5 of his past 6 starts. KC bullpen has really pitched well here over the past 10. And Casey's just not hitting the baseball. That's why they went into this bit of a slump to end the season here. So I look under in that game. San Diego and Arizona. San Diego's locked in to the 4 seed, so they have really nothing to play for. They are going to host the wild card round next week. I think they're going to play Tuesday or Wednesday. So I'm wondering how they're going to work. That's why we don't see. That's why we saw Vasquez in the mound today. I don't know how they're going to work their bullpen. I doubt if we see Suarez as a closer. He got roughed up a little bit this month. So I don't know if we're going to see the A squad coming in out of the bullpen for the Padres. And now that they're locked into the 4 seed. So right. I'm not sure that's why I like the over in this game. Arizona hits 277 at home. The Padres bats are hitting very well. I don't see much rest for the Padres. We want to keep these players in their timing in, right? You don't want to rest guys because you're going to play out the wild card rounds next Tuesday. So I don't see these guys putting too much rest in. I think they got to get their bats in. They got to get their reps in. So I'll look at the over in that game. Those are the two that I like there in that time slot. Let's continue here on the Tony's Picks Morning Show as we get ready for the next series of games. They will be Dodgers, Rockies, Rangers, Orioles, Athletics, Mariners. We start off with Rod.
Just on a quick note, the only thing about that, the Kansas City Royals finally get to face a right-handed starter for a change. It's 4 straight lefty starters over the last 4 games. It's all been left-handed starter, all from Washington. Yeah. And then the Braves threw out another lefty yesterday, and they couldn't hit a beach ball. So now they get a righty today. They might be chomping at the bit, but how much are they motivated to beat up on the Braves in that one? That's just my concern there with that one. But I think the Braves have all of them. The motivation in that one. And this last time slot here, you look Herbie Hancock's getting the start for Seattle in that one, and got to go with Herbie. You look at Oakland yesterday; they battled. It was a 2-0 win for Seattle. They definitely scrappy bunch. I lean to another under there again. Estes hasn't been bad for Oakland dealing. So you look over his. He has been roughed up his last 3, but I think this is a good spot that he last couple have been roughed up, but we've seen Joey Estes at this time, and then you get Seattle. I think they reverted back to their swing and be awful. It's just momentum in that motivation for this game. You're just playing on the string, so give me the under there. And then the Dodgers, well, of course, I think the Dodgers get that one win that they want to lock in that first seed. So I got to go with the Dodgers there in Colorado. I would lean to an over again. Nothing like padding your stats with Yamamoto and Senzatella on the mound. Give me the over 11 there as well. And then Texas, just keep betting against the Angels. They've definitely checked out of any games going. Canning's awful. He had a nice little run there. Not lazy. While Heaney on the other side of the bump, he's been actually looking pretty good. 4-1. Must be a contract year for Heaney. Trying to make some extra bucks is Andrew Heaney because he's 4-1 with half decent ERA. So give me Texas in that one.
Texas there from Rod. As we'll continue on here, just looking at the contract here. Yep, he's on a 1-year contract. Player option for 2024. So he's on his option year. So he's a free agent.
That's why he's been dealing.
Yep, lefty pitcher. He's been around, so there'll be some takers out there, no doubt. We'll go over to Steven.
Oh, we'll go on the Mariners. I'll just take Seattle there. Estes seems to have been fading down the stretch. It's not my favorite game in the world. I don't like the price all that much. And, Estes may just put out his full effort here, too, because he's got something to play for to be on that starting role next year. So it's a tough one. So I'll just say I'll take Seattle. Angels, my gosh. I was watching one game. I was watching the last one or the one before that, and they were showing guys in the bullpen, and it almost looked like they were using their phones. They weren't even talking to each other, and other than they're sitting there going, "When is this going to be over?" And so I think anybody can beat the Angels right now. So I'll take the Rangers, and that one is pretty brutal. And I like the over. This is the first time Yamamoto's played in Coors, and I'm not a big fan. I don't know. I don't trust Senzatella either. And I think the Dodgers bullpen has been horrid. So I think that if Yamamoto, and I don't think they're going to play Yamamoto. They're not going to waste his arm either. So that bullpen's probably going to get out there. And when that happens, I could definitely see the Dodgers hitting Senzatella early. And the bullpen as well. So I like over. I got a 10.5 actually. So I'll take the over in that one. Dodgers probably win it, but I like the over.
All right, over there from one game I look at. It's probably the first time I took an over in Seattle's home game, but I'm going to take them over in this one. Estes allowed past 4 starts, 18 runs, 6 homers, and 15 2/3 innings. Oakland 7-0. The over on the road behind Estes and Seattle is hitting 278 over their past 7 games. They're getting a little better hitting here. So that's the one. I think that's the only time of the year. I said, well, actually, it might have been recently too, but I'll look over in that one between Seattle and the Oakland Athletics. All right, we got you through the baseball. We got you through the college football. So now it's time for our parlay peripheral segment. The cappers can give you a parlay, can give you a team total, can give you a player prop. They choose it. We'll start here with Rod.
And we're going to go with the 3-teamer all in college football. We're going to go Cincinnati money line. We're going to take Charlotte money line, and we're going to take NIU money line. Little 3-team dog parlay for college football today. Love that one.
Yeah, from Rod, we move on over to Steven.
Let's see what am I going to take here. I'll take that Phillies national game over. I'll take the Dodgers Rockies over. And I'll take the under on the Pirates Yankees.
There you go. All right. What I'm going to do here is I will take the points with Michigan State. I will take the points here with Illinois, and I will take Alabama. So that's my 3-team parlay for you there. All right. We got you through that. Now let's see what the cappers have for sale over at Tony'sPicks.com. Heading to a big weekend of Major League Baseball. We got college football, NFL tomorrow. WNBA begins the semifinals of the playoffs tomorrow. We'll take a look at Rod. Rod having a great year over at Tony'sPicks.com. You see the numbers, nearly 700 units of profit. Rod, what do you have going on over at the site?
And over at the site today, loaded college football action. I've got an early 5-pack. I've got a night 5-pack. In that night 5-pack has my 10-star executive info play. 51 and 40, the last 91 plays of the day with it. So definitely jump aboard that. I also have, I do have a WNBA play in tomorrow. I've got one play in MLB. So definitely jump aboard something long-term. That way you don't miss out on any of these plays that are going. And I've got a stack card in today's action. I've got, 18 in college and a couple in MLB. So definitely jump aboard. Let's continue to crush the books in college football. I'm excited. Pair me up with any one of the other hot handicappers you see. Tony's been lights out in NFL this season, so definitely pair me up with Tony, and you'll definitely have yourself a great weekend. Take advantage of that 2-for-1 capper promotional, or pair me up with any of the other cappers you see on the show. That's definitely the way to go, having 2 cappers put money into your pockets. Don't forget that Tony T promo code. Save 15% off your purchases over at checkout at TonyTees.com.
That's right, guys. Get on board with Rod. Let's see what Steve's got for sale. See what you got for sale over at Tony's Spectacular. Having a really good WNBA season.
Yeah, I got. Can't wait till the WNBA comes back. Actually, that's going to be great to watch. I got 2 college football plays, and they are in a 5-pack package with MLB. You can grab that, and I'm going to be putting all my NFL plays in today. And I have 4 premiums in baseball as well.
So get on board with Steve over at Tony'sPicks.com. Today I've got 3-pack up there from college football. Also a best bet on the board. So get on board with me right now at Tony'sPicks.com. We'll have some NFL later tonight. We're looking forward to a good season NFL. And of course, don't forget we got the multi-capper promotion. You can match us up on a package. Late Steam available as well on the long-term passes. I just want to let you guys know the one-day passes are profit guaranteed. They must generate profit, or the amount you purchase will be credited back to your account for side credits. That's profit guaranteed on the one-day passes. Not so much on long-term because we're still at a discount price. When you do the price per pick, it comes out to a really good value. That's why you want to get the long-term pass. That's the best value there. All right, before we go, any closing thoughts? I will start with Rod.
Closing thoughts. What we did yesterday with the closing thoughts was I went through the CFL card, and guess what? We crushed both those winners. Winnipeg Blue Bombers kicked the crap out of the Elks. Kind of figured they would. Winnipeg's looking like the team that's going to win the Grey Cup. And then Hamilton comes into BC and gets the outright win. That 7.5 was a cakewalk there in the CFL. So we'll look at 2 more games that are going on in today's slate. Ottawa coming into Saskatchewan. Tough place for Ottawa to come play Saskatchewan. They're starting to get healthy again and looking like the Saskatchewan that started the season. Lay the 4 with Saskatchewan. They win by 7+ in that one over Ottawa. And then this line looks so funky. Montreal taking on Toronto here. Why is Montreal only favored by a point? They are the better team. It's not even close. Head-to-head between these two. I think that should be Montreal -3.5, -4, maybe even -5. So take the Argos in that one. They're looking like they're baiting you to try to take Montreal and I think we see an upset. I think the Toronto Argonauts get the win in that one. I think Toronto takes Saskatchewan. Little 2-team parlay to end off the show today. Crush it today in the books. Kick the bookies' blood. Take their money. Put it in your pocket.
In closing, Steve, I know you've got some NHL futures in video form over at TonySmith.com. Just go right over to the NHL section. No, Steve, you put together some preseason NHL videos up there for the upcoming season.
Yeah, absolutely. I got a 10,000 to 1 in there. I got a couple of, when I do those, I try to get the best value I possibly can. And I'm doing another one today. So you'll be able to look at that one as well. But if you like to make, I like doing those futures because you toss a little money on it. And like last year, I had a not the greatest day, one of my not great days. But then I look it up and I'm like, oh yeah, I hit 3 futures at 8,000 to 1. So it made my day. I love doing that kind of stuff. But you can, I'll give you a couple preseason stuff here. You got the Leafs and the Canadians. The Canadians will beat the Leafs almost all the time in preseason or whatever. And St. Louis is trying to get some positive juju going in there for preseason. They've been winning a lot. So I would take the Canadians there, and I would also take the over. Same can be said for the Sabres. That's Ruff wants to get those guys thinking win-win-win regardless of the situation right now. And he's going to be pushing them hard right now. So I think I would take the Sabres over the Blue Jackets in that preseason game. And finally, Flames versus Canucks. That same can be said for the Flames. There's a lot of talk here that they're not going to make it, that they suck, and all that kind of stuff like that. And Halusko, I think that's his name, the coach there. I've been listening to him a lot, and he looks really annoyed. He looks really annoyed, and I think he's got this Flames team playing angry even in the preseason. So I think the Flames will probably win that one. So there's 3 picks for you there for preseason hockey.
They're from
Steven. I can't take Buffalo. I can't take Buffalo today. They're playing like 4th liner AHL guys. The odds on Buffalo are plus 350 today.
I would take it at plus 350. You watch.
Oh, I know you would. I'm just saying. I'll watch. I'll watch Columbus all of a sudden come out of nowhere and whoop the crap out of Buffalo.
I don't think so.
I'm not doing it.
I think it's just it's an energy play more than who's on the ice.
I watched these preseasons and I haven't seen a plus 350 hit yet. It's all been the favorites winning by boatloads.
I haven't been betting those plus 350s, but I like this one.
I've been watching. I've been hoping for some spots to find some dogs in this preseason, and it hasn't been doggy. And no doggy at all. They've been almost like trying to bait you into those ones. So
yeah.
Take it with a grain of salt. I get the value with you, but I can't do it.
I didn't even check the Canadians. What is that paying right now? I just looked.
That's it's the only ones that's got an odd. So I would kind of lead to Montreal. Montreal's minus 230. So I like that one there.
They're minus 230. That's no good. Take the over.
Right? They're minus 230. See, that game goes to overtime. They love overtime.
There's going to be lots of goals there, for sure.
Yeah, preseason hockey. Overtime. And of course, tomorrow WNBA, so you can keep an eye on Rod with the WNBA video series. Will return for tomorrow. We got the 2 games in the semifinal: Aces, Liberty, Sun, Lynx. Keep an eye there. I know you also did some videos up there on the channel this week in college football. I saw up there.
Yeah, definitely. I did 3 college football videos with Chris, handicap over at Tony's Picks. So definitely those are archived. Go check those out. We did 3 big games. We did Georgia, Alabama. We did Ole Miss and Kentucky, and then we did the one in Jerry's world, Arkansas, taking on Texas A&M. So definitely go check out those 3 videos. Get some nice winners.
Chris Atkins, by the way, you may think of
Chris Atkins. Yeah. Not the other Chris. It's Chris Atkins. Yes, Mr. Tattoo. So call him Chris Atkins, Mr. Tattoo. Definitely go check out Chris. New and excited, and glad to have Chris aboard here at Tony's Space.
Yeah, a lot of great content here, guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, and so you're notified when we come live with these shows. So if you look at the college football, rewind to the beginning of the show. That's where we covered the games from college football. All right, that'll do it for this edition here of the 26 Morning Show. Back tomorrow, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. We're going to cover the NFL. We're going to cover the last day of the regular season, Major League Baseball, and the 2 WNBA games Aces, Liberty, Sun, Lynx. We're down to the Final Four, man. We're going to have a really good playoff here in the semis. Great action W from the W. So we do have a primetime game in the W going head-to-head with Sunday Night Football, which is good because we need some competition. All you guys have multiple screens. We don't need one screen anymore.
See these guys? They're today.
Nice.
I'm going to be smoking some Kraken is what I'm going to be doing because the Oilers look like awful. Their defense looks awful. Preseason, the Oilers don't look like they have any inklings of doing anything. It might be a rough season for the Oilers. They could miss the playoffs.
Yep. And the Kings in action. I got some bad news. Dowdy.
He was like, what?
Dowdy broke his leg. Did you hear that? Dowdy broke his leg.
No, I agree with Dowdy broke his leg. LA, we already know they're already in mess.
Already messed without Dowdy.
But I agree with you with the Oilers. I'm one of the few people that didn't like many of the moves that they made. I think Skinner's useless. Not the goaltender Skinner, the player. But Skinner's.
I don't like Skinner. We brought over Skinner, and he's supposed to be the savior. I don't think so. Arvidsson, he's Mr. Injury prone. He can't play an 82-game season. That's why the Kings were happy to get rid of him. He played 42 games last season, struggled with injuries. I don't like those guys on defense. Yikes! We're gonna rely on Nurse, and we got Nurse, and it's
Bouchard. Bouchard at home and then nothing.
Bouchard and Ekholm. I'll give it to Bouchard and Ekholm. We got a top 2 defense, but other than that, yikes. So what's going to happen?
Nurse is a good top 4, but besides that, we don't have much.
Well, I'm glad you have faith in Nurse. I don't.
He's got good defensive analytics. Is he? It's just
he does.
He's not worth $9 million. That's
as long as his head's in the game.
But
right?
what happens when Arvidsson gets hurt? We're going to play Podkolzin in our top.
Podkolzin, right? Oh my God, Podkolzin.
I'll tell you,
trouble.
I'm really worried. I'm really worried about the Oilers this year. I'm really worried. All these people are picking them to win the cup, and I'm like, what are you smoking, man?
Yeah, we just lost Dowdy, and it's funny. Look at Dowdy; he's month to month. So that tells you how that story is.
I haven't heard if Dowdy has to go for surgery yet for that ankle. Like if he has to go in and get some surgery done to fix it, it's going to be at least 3 to 6 months to fix that.
That must have been a spiral. That must have been a spiral fracture or something like that.
Go have a look. If you haven't seen the video, go have a look at the video. You'll see.
Yeah,
the ankle is not supposed to bend like that. It's not supposed to bend.
Rough.
Just rough. It looks like
it's not like LA's defense was deep to begin with.
Hey, who's the first round? So I got to keep an eye on the first round pick for next year for LA. It looks like we got a tanking season coming.
I don't think it's going to be that bad.
You don't think so?
I think you're probably hoping it's that bad, though. You might as well.
Yeah, they're playing. That Dowdy news. Remember, Dowdy covers a lot of ice time for the Kings. He always has. So that's a big loss there. But of course, the issue with the Kings has been the goaltending. Since Quick wasn't quick, lost his quickness. It hasn't been the same here in LA's goaltending, right, Rod?
Exactly right. The goaltending situation isn't good either. James Haggins is, I believe, the projected number 1 for 2025. Not a bad pick.
Well, their AHL team was pretty good, but I don't know if they're ready to jump in yet. They got speed out.
They've got some guys behind, some prospects and some outlooks for the Kings. It's tough losing a star player in Dowdy, that's for sure, on the back end because he's the leader. He's the guy that gets everybody else up and falls along, but. Even injured, he'll still be there in the practice on the bench. He's that type of guy that he'll still be around the locker room. He's not going to be the guy that's injured in Aruba watching games. He'll be right there with the team and still making pointers and trying to lead.
He might replace Blake for the GM position.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. I think he would be a great fit as the GM position. Let Blake go on. Time to retire.
Assistant GM. I could see him. I could see them trying to work him into management of some sort. He deserves that. His head's in the game. To play that type of ice time, you can teach a lot of. He has a lot to teach these guys. No doubt. He spoke out about the young, undisciplined play of the Kings last year. Of course, ran out a good coach during the regular season as well. All right, that's gonna do it for the show, guys. We're back tomorrow. Appreciate all the contributors, everybody in the chat. Make it a winning day, and we'll talk to you tomorrow here on the Tony's Picks Morning Show.